Today I'm going to show you guys how I trained Clarabelle here how to let me cut her nails. Clara is a very anxious dog. She has been crazy anxious since I got her at 8 weeks old, but we have patience and we have worked through a lot of her anxiety for her to be able to do things that might still bring her anxiety, but she trusts me to do them for her and allows me to do them. I thought this video might be helpful for other dog owners who also have anxious dogs that aren't quite sure where to start in their journey with their dogs. Let's start with the tools that I use first. Of course, you need to understand how to actually trim your dog's nails. I would recommend just looking up and watching a ton of videos on it from different points of view. Watch tons and tons and tons of videos. I spent so much time watching videos when I was first learning how to cut her nails. I had her for 3 years before I learned how to cut her nails because I was so anxious about it. She has very dark black nails, and so it's of course harder, and I was always scared that I was going to cut her quick, but with practice you get more comfortable with it. It can also help if your dog has black nails to still watch white nails because you can still get a little bit of an understanding of where the actual quick can be. I would also recommend watching videos that go into detail about the tools and everything and can tell you the differences between all the different tools that are available. I'm just going to go through the things that I have and what works for me. My biggest tip on learning how to cut the nails is to just give yourself patience and give your dog patience, especially if you have an anxious dog like I do. They're going to get scared. They're going to be fearful just out of nature, out of habit, and you just don't want to push them too far. Of course, if the dog is starting to show signs of stress or starting to just look uncomfortable, you want to take a break and or stop depending on how your dog is reacting. You should always know the signs of stress in your dog and what they are capable of and where their limits are. Some dogs just need a couple minutes of a break. Some dogs you just need to fully stop. I know Clara's limits pretty well, and so I know when to just take a couple minutes of a break and when to stop. The only time I really tell her that we need to finish is when I'm clipping a nail and it gets like chipped and I need to be able to finish a nail so it doesn't get caught on anything, because that can lead to an actual injury and not just her being fearful. One of the most important things, in my opinion, is the treat. That is extremely important to them, and having it be a high reward treat for them and not just regular food or a treat that they get all of the time. Clara personally likes these ones from Zooks. This is what we use right now. I get 3 bags at a time, 1 in each flavor, and we just open 1 bag at a time. I typically only give her these when I'm actually doing her nails. That way she also understands that we're doing something that might stress her out a little bit, but she knows what this is and she knows she really likes it. On top of that, I would recommend a treat jar or even just a bowl if you don't want to have a jar. I like to have a full-on canister, jar, whatever you want to call it, that I can pour the full bag into. These treats smell so good. So these bags are pretty small, so it doesn't fill up the container, but I like to just take off the lid and then I can reach in and easily grab them. Before I did this, I just used a small bowl every time we did her nails. having them still in the bag and reaching in the bag every time can be time consuming, in my opinion, especially when training treats or typical high reward treats can be in smaller packaging. She is in here, so we're going to use her for demonstration purposes here in a minute. So she's getting her treats because I want to reward her for being in here, because it's going to make her a little bit anxious. I'm not cutting any nails today because we have already done that this week. The next biggest thing in my book is the styptic powder. This is just the one that you can get from PetSmart. If you can't find it, just ask a worker. They can find it for you. I know it's also called Quick Stop a lot of times. So styptic powder, Quick Stop, same thing. I have heard that you can use cornstarch, and I've read a lot of people that like to keep cornstarch in their bag just in case. I'm just going to always make sure to have Quick Stop, styptic powder, whatever, on hand. I have not had to use this. I've not cut her quick so far, but you would much rather have it and never need it than need it and not have it. The thing with cornstarch is it is not as effective, but it's good in emergency. Do your own research as you will with that. Again, I have not had to use it. So the recommendation that my PetSmart employee gave to me, she seemed to be pretty knowledgeable about it. I actually grabbed a worker from the grooming department because she was walking out and was just like, I just need some help because I want to make sure that I'm having all the knowledge and doing it correctly. So she walked me through it. If you cut the quick, you're going to want to dip their nail into this powder and then apply a cotton ball to it. Put pressure on it. You're going to check it after a minute. Do it again if you need to. If the bleeding continues for longer than 3 minutes, then you probably need to take your dog to the vet. So that's as much as I know. Again, do all of your research. Do your research on cutting the nail, on how to deal with it if you cut the quick, all that stuff. I have not had to deal with it myself, and I'm mostly just wanting to show you guys how you can start with being able to trim their nails. The next thing is, of course, a way to trim said nails. So you need either nail clippers or a nail grinder. Clara does not like the sound of a nail grinder. I think that is harder for her than actual trimmers. When I used to take her in, I used to tell them whatever she lets you do, whether it's a grinder or the clipper, that is fine with me. Myself, since starting to do her nails on my own, I've always used a trimmer. Maybe I'll get a grinder at some point, but I feel like that would just be another starting back from the beginning, and we've already gone through this once. There are 2 types of clippers that you can buy. So there's these that are scissor type. This one has a lock, so it closes. It also has a magnifying glass so that you can see the nail better. I have mine turned to the side, but you can turn it so you can actually see it. I find that it's actually more difficult to cut them with the magnifying glass. So I like to turn it to the side, and then I'll just put the magnifying glass on the nail and look at the nail with them closed like that. This is Clara's preferred clipper. She has done way better with this one than the other one I have. Oh, also this one has a little light. So if you're in a little bit of a darker area, you can use a little light with it. The other one is a guillotine clipper. Hopefully you can see that. The difference is the blade goes straight up and down. So you squeeze it, it goes up and down. This, I have read that it is a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit more professional, but I also read that you can see exactly where you're cutting better, which was one of the reasons why I ended up buying this one. The downside that I have read and experienced, I believe, is this can actually cause more pressure on the nail than the scissor style. So, like I said, get whichever one you prefer. I would get one of each. If you can try it without actually buying it, I would recommend that so you're not wasting money. But again, try different ways and see what you like. Clara let me do, I think I got one clip out of this thing, and she's never let me touch her with it again. She just does not like this one. The scissor style one though, she tolerates. I don't want to say likes, but she tolerates it. There are times when I like to file Clara's nails. I previously mentioned that the only time I really push her limit is if we crack her nail because they are too long or something. Doesn't happen anymore. This was more towards the beginning of our journey together with the whole nail thing. That's the only time because I don't want her to catch that nail. Typically, like I mentioned, I don't have a grinder. I don't have a dog nail file. I've seen the metal ones. I personally don't like it. That's just personal preference. If you have one and you love it, that is fantastic. I use a regular nail file. Maybe this is, there we go. Maybe this is frowned upon. I don't know. So the nail file I have, I just get these packs of like 10 or 15 or something. They're just literally Revlon. They're the thin little ones. They have a finer side and a coarser side. I will use the coarser side on her nails. I don't like the coarse side on my nails. So I'll use a coarse side on her nails just to help file them down a bit if they're just a little rough on the edges, or if I just need to buff something out really quick. That's how I do it, and it works fantastic. I'm going to use Clara here as a beautiful demonstration for how to start this gorgeous journey with your dog. I started this with her anytime she was pretty relaxed, just in a comfortable position. You want to start with just having everything near them. So these are her treats. You can open it so that they can smell it, let them look. She knows they're there. Of course, styptic powder, just to get into the habit of having it with you when you're doing it, when you actually start cutting. And then of course the clippers. So she knows what these are. There's a reason she was not near us when she saw me pull these out. She knows, Clarabelle, sit. She knows what they are. If your dog understands, they might not be very comfortable. Thank you. Good girl. So we'll have to have some patience with her because she has gone through this a couple of times this week because we've already done her nails once this week. Just have them near her. Just have them near. Just show them and give a treat. Give a treat if they don't run away. Once your dog is comfortable being near, you can scoot them, let them sniff it. If they're sniffing it, give them a treat. This is rewarding your dog. The next thing I want you to do when your dog is starting to get comfortable is taking their paw and just holding it. Don't touch it, don't do anything. Hold it. And I'm just putting a light pressure on her. I'm not like grabbing her hard or anything. Just hold them near. And you're gonna give them a treat. The step after that is to just hold them closer. I'm not touching her paw, we're just closer. And then we're gonna give a treat. We're gonna continue that. If they're pulling away, do not continue to the next step. After that, I want you to touch her paw. Just touch them. Hopefully y'all can see. I'm just touching her paw. Good girl. You want positive interactions. Sometimes giving more than one treat. Once your dog is getting comfortable with that, we'll switch to this hand. So she doesn't want to do that hand anymore. You're going to touch their nail with the front of it. Not open or anything. I would recommend getting one that closes. Just touch her nail. Yeah. And then give them a treat. If they pull away, that's okay. As long as they're letting you hold their nail there, that's what's important. The next step you're gonna do is open it. Shh, you're okay. Clara still gets a little triggered by that sometimes if she's close. If yours is like mine and it makes a visible noise when opening it, that can freak her dog out. It freaked Clara out. She's not nearly as bad now. Open it near your dog. So after that, you're gonna hold it. The clippers are open. You're gonna hold it. And I would recommend once they're open, holding it by one side so you can't accidentally close it if they jerk on you. And you're gonna hold it to their nail. Just like that. Good girl. And what they're going to learn is if they're immediately pulling away, they're not getting rewarded. If they're holding their paw there and letting you continue, they're going to get rewarded. So that's how you're going to get your dog to be comfortable with the clippers. You're just going to continue to do that until your dog lets you hold them with the clippers touching their nails when they're holding still for a good minute or so. So now we can actually talk about how to go about holding your dog's paws, sorry. The way that I have found works best for Clara, you want a way that you, the trimmer, can clearly see their nails and a way that's also comfortable for them, that they're less likely to pull away. Sit. My preferred method for her front paws is to pick the paw up, bend it back like that. So I take her paw, lift it up, and then back. And here she is comfortable with it, and I can clearly see. It's harder with the way the lighting is right now. I can very clearly see her nails, and it's very comfy for her. And then you can also see the dew claw. So that's what I do for her front paws. So I'll spend time with her holding her paw like this and just messing with her nails and touching her paws, getting her used to me touching them in this position before I ever take the clippers near them. From there, I will restart the process of touching her paws in that position and touching the clippers to it, all that whole process. I will repeat in that position. So repeat it in whatever position you want to be doing your dog's nails from, and do it every single time the same way. You want to get them used to that position. So comfortable and easy for you to see. For her back paws, it's kind of harder to show you, but I pretty much do the same position. I flip her paws back on the back. I find it easier to stand over her and have her between my legs facing behind me so that her booty and her back paws are in front of me. And then I just pick her paw up slowly, bend them back with my finger. Goes very easy. It's very comfortable and she doesn't mind it. And again, just take it slow, and however they are pulling and stuff, let them go. You want to take it super, super nice and slow. I would also recommend to try to do their nails in the same area of your home every time. Typically, me and Clara do her nails outside on our patio. That's where it's the brightest, and it's also very comfortable out there. She has a chair with a full thick cushion and everything, so she can sit on there, lean against it, and then she can also take breaks very easily. So if she's getting stressed out or, we give her a break, whatever, she can get off the chair and go and people watch very easily and then get back up on and into position whenever she's ready in a couple of minutes. I have a table outside, so it's very easy to take everything out there and set it on the table, and she understands exactly what's going on. I'm still working on the back paws with her, but we are getting there, and I am using the same exact method I just explained for the front paws, I'm using for the back paws. Some dogs will let you do it with them lying down. Clara is not like that. And if your dog is anxious, they're more than likely probably not going to. So I would probably try to find something else. Again, just mess around with their paws and see what feels comfortable to them, what they like, what they don't like, so that you can find the best solution for both of y'all. And then again, just have patience for your dog. Have patience for them. Go slow, go gentle. You can always come back. We started off doing one cut at a time. I would literally go have one clip off of one nail, off of one paw, and that would be it. To where now she lets me fully do her front paws and several clips on her back paws, and we're working towards doing the full thing on the back ones. It'll happen. We went from her going to her kennel, being scared, and me crying from being so stressed out, trying to clip her nails because I thought I was scared to hurt her, to me confidently clipping them and her being okay with it 95% of the time. You can get there. You will get there. Give yourself grace. Give your dog grace. Always reward. High reward. If they're getting very stressed out, let them have 3, 4 treats. Don't just give them one. I also treated very heavily, so I would give her a treat after every single clip. Now she doesn't get a treat every single clip. I give her a treat when we're done with the nail, but that's kind of how you start to get there. Do a clip, give a treat. Do a clip, give a treat. And I would recommend, if your dog is very scared, try to get one clip off of each nail, so even if you have to, like, one day you do one nail, the next day you do another nail, the next day you do another nail. That's how you work towards that. And clip, treat, clip, treat. Just take it slow. Understand that, especially if you are also stressed out by it like I was, they're gonna be just as stressed as you are. Experiment. Try different snacks. Try different clippers. Try different areas. I know where Clara is the most comfortable at. It was easy for me to be like, okay, well, let's go do this outside. And so now every time we do it outside. It gets us some outside time, makes her happier, makes her less stressed. There's tons of light, so I can see even better. Just have patience for them. Hopefully this made sense because it felt very chaotic, but that's about how my life is. So if there's anything that you have questions on, anything else you would like me to touch on or explain how I did, then let me know. I can answer questions in the comments. You can message me on Instagram. Remember, that's a learning experience and it's a bonding time. And in the end, you might be scared, but you and your dog are going to trust each other even more. When I first decided to do Claire's nails at home myself rather than paying my groomer $10 to do it, I was very scared and I was very stressed out. And the cause of having to do that, because her anxiety got so high from being attacked, is really sad. In the end, it's helped us grow closer and grow an even better bond than we had before. If you like this video or thought that it was helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. I do see it, and it does help my channel. If you want more content of Claire, let me know. Subscribe to see it, and I'll make more content of her. And if you would like to check out my channel for more content, you can. There's all kinds of content on there. So until the next video, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.